was the life insurance. And I can recall, okay guys, I'm about to say this. We're going to see if Anita agrees with me or not. Life insurance. Here's my thing on life insurance. I understand that I work for Coca-Cola, but if I leave Coca-Cola tomorrow, is that life insurance policy going to leave with me? Probably not. So I don't know why people buy life insurance policy with their job. I could be wrong. I don't get it. So I have my life insurance policy somewhere where I know, regardless of where I'm working at, when I'm an entrepreneur, that it's not going to matter. It's still going to be in place, and I haven't lost all that money. That was one of my things. And I also remember that we have to get life insurance. It's so important. I had a good friend of mine whose daughter was 27 years old with three kids. Talked to her mama. 20 minutes later, the roommate was called and said she just dropped dead in the kitchen, and there was no life insurance.
Wow.
There was no life. She had 3 kids, 3 boys, okay? One of them was a baby, no life insurance. So of course, all of us rallied together to make sure she was, had a proper burial and all of that. But what did that leave her mom with raising her 3 boys?
I'm telling you, Rhonda, you might as well just come on and go into business with me, because that is a big part of the conversations I have to have with people. And it's never really comfortable, because change is not always comfortable.
Yes.
I don't know many people who want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have a couple of things. You can have the pain of change or the pain of regret. And so one of those will be there. And so as it relates to life insurance, you're exactly right. I have no issues with group insurance through your employer. Typically, companies will give you so many times your salary for free. I always tell people, take it. You can't beat free any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So take free. But as far as supplemental, because a lot of times we spend money on extra, do that outside of your job.
Yes.
Industry experts, anyone will tell you, whether you listen to Susie Orman or Dave Ramsey or any other financial advisor or person who is adept at insurance, they will tell you, if you do not own it, it's not yours. Your company gives you benefits. If somebody gives you something, they can take it away. A company is in business to stay in business. Their number one goal is to remain profitable. One of the first ways they bring themselves back to profitability, if that's in jeopardy, is reducing employees and reducing benefits. And if you want to know if you really have benefits, did they give you a policy? You are renting the insurance. It is not yours. When you leave, it doesn't go with you. But let's just say you do have a company and they allow you to port that. It's portable, so you can take it with you. Well, you just left the security of a group of thousands of employees where they leveraged all those numbers to give you lower costs. And now you are going to be rated as an individual at whatever age you are, at whatever health condition you have. Life insurance is not something you can just buy. You have to qualify for it. And many people, after working 20 and 30 years at a job, have health conditions where they can't even qualify for it once they leave. So you may be that person listening to us or watching us, and you say, no, but I'm going to retire from my job. That's great. But sometimes we don't get a choice in the matter. Sometimes those jobs leave us. We've had people who get outsized and outsourced and forced retirement. And if you haven't been doing a good job at growing your money, you are now unprotected, your family is vulnerable, and you have no money. That's a 2-time loser. And so that's my goal, is trying to protect people from that by doing exactly what you've said. Have insurance that you own, that has nothing to do with the job.
I like the fact that you said you don't own it. It's not yours. It's not yours if you don't own it. It's with anything, the car payment, all of that. Yes. So my other scenario was this. I want to switch to, okay, people, I want y'all to know that I love you. And we're having this conversation because I love you.
What did they say? It's tight, but it's right.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But listen, here's another one. And I just had this conversation with a client of mine that I'm coaching. And we were talking about just money. And I said to her, I'm not a financial coach, but I know enough to say this. Why do you have 3 cell phones? Okay. And so she began to tell me, well, this is my personal, this is for this business, and this is for that business. And so how much is your cell phone bill a month? So when she told me the amount of her cell phone bill, I said, okay, so you're an entrepreneur? Do you have a thing that's registered with the state? She said, yes. So why can't you use the same cell phone bill for your business if you registered? Why do you need to have separate? And who has time to carry that many cell phones? But this is how we spend so uselessly. You know, is that a word?
Yes.
So
It is.
this is how
It
we
is now.
spend. It doesn't make sense. And so I said to her, I said, so here's your homework assignment for this week. You have 24 hours to contact one of those cell phones. And she did it. She actually did it.
She's coachable.
She's coachable. We like coachable people. But I said to her, I said, well, we know where you need to go next, because I'm not a financial person. We need to find you a financial person, because this is crazy. But we do it all the time. We go, and I'm gonna tell you, I was guilty, because my thing years ago was, but I got the dress at Ross. It was a Calvin Klein at Ross, so I didn't spend that much money with it. We justify the spending. We justify the unnecessary spending.
I have people tell me that all the time. I got it on sale. People, sale, if it's not free, it's still more than you had to spend, or more than you needed to spend. So imagine if you get 100 things on sale versus spending 0. So that's the justification, though. That's not the only thing you bought on sale, and that stuff adds up. I mean, just like money goes quickly, we've all broken a $20 bill and wonder, what happened? I just had a 20. It goes so quickly. And if we're not tracking it on paper, you don't really know what you're spending. You don't even realize what you're spending.
Exactly. And that's a good point about tracking your spending on paper. What's your recommendation for that? I tried with a Excel spreadsheet. It worked for me because I'm that person.
Exactly. I actually do an Excel spreadsheet. I'm that person too. So I track every penny I'm spending it, and I'm the person that every time I spend something, I balance my checkbook right then, because it just has to all connect. I'm that person. But so it depends on my client. I try to bring them along slowly. I understand that people function, their brains function differently. That's how I do it, but somebody else who's not an organized, managed type person or an administrator, that would drive them crazy.
But I wasn't always that way. This
wasn't either.
This was probably in the last 5 years that I've been doing this.
Well, I wasn't always the organized person. Actually, my mother asked me, when did you become this person? Because I remember as a child, I was the person that every item of clothing that I wore was on my floor in my room.
Oh, honey. Okay, stop the presses. Listen. Is my daughter listening? She calls that the shelf. That is not a shelf, that's the floor.
I mean, my mother used to clean that room up, and my dad would say, leave her alone, Pam. She knows where everything is. And that was my thing, Mom. I know exactly where everything is. And now all of a sudden, I'm that person that when my friends come to my house, they think it doesn't even look lived in, because I like the hotel, clean lines, everything has its place, organized by color, folded. That's me now. And I don't know when that happened.
I am that way too. But hey, on that note, we're going to take a break, because it's time for me to pay myself back. So I think we're going to let James Brown take us out with the payback.